If you are familiar with Python, you can now use the syntax of this language to speed up the creation of your InterSystems productions. In this video, you'll see some of the many places where you can add Python code to your productions. The BPL and DTL editors both offer opportunities to write code expressions and code statements in Python. In the General Settings tab of the BPL Editor, you can select the default language for the BPL you are editing, Python or ObjectScript. Within BPL activities, you can use Python in fields where code can be parsed and compiled. For example, the assign activity, which sets the value of a variable, has a field called value, where you can set a variable equal to a code expression. Likewise, the if activity, which creates a conditional logic flow, has a field called condition for code expressions. These fields are recognizable because they come with a language override drop-down menu, where you can override the default language of the BPL editor and specify the language for that field. If you need to import Python packages to use within the context of the BPL, you can do so in the General Settings tab. Python is also supported in code fields of the DTL editor. Common uses for custom code in DTLs are string formatting and calculations. If you need to import Python packages for use in a DTL that you're editing, locate the Transform tab and use the Python from/import statements field. In this tab, you can also select the default language for a DTL. To use Python within DTL actions, locate a field associated with a language override drop-down menu. In the code action of a DTL, you can write a block of complete code statements. The set action, perhaps the most common action in DTLs, supports code expressions in its value field, meaning it supports Python just as well as ObjectScript. Likewise, actions such as if and trace also support code expressions. If you're familiar with the process of client-side or server-side code editing, you can directly edit BPL and DTL class files. Note that this is not as user-friendly as the user interfaces. You can also write Python in the bodies of methods for custom business hosts, adapters, and utility classes. With built-in support for Python in the BPL and DTL editors, creating custom integrations is easy and accessible to a wide audience of developers.